Hi, I'm Jen DeTracy, and welcome to episode number 7 of My Messy House, because MS is raw and real. So, My Messy House, what's that about? If you are just tuning in for the first time, it's about the messy house that we have in our heads and how to tame it. And as people, human beings living with MS, we have lots of layers in our life, and there is messiness to be tamed, like a lion. Unless you're an animal activist and you don't like that, and then you are agitated. It's kind of funny because I was coaching a client, and one of the techniques that we were taught was talking about how you can't build Rome in one day. It's one step at a time, and you can't eat an elephant all at once. So you eat them one bite at a time. And this woman that I was giving that elephant example to, she was horrified because she donates money to save baby elephants. So talk about putting the wrong foot in my mouth. Yeah, didn't go over so well. So today, what I want to share with you in this messiness and the rawness and the realness of MS is the concept of self-empathy. And this is something I'm going to be talking a lot about. I learned about self-empathy from two amazing individuals, Sarah Payton and Eric Bowers. I went to a number of workshops. In fact, when I was fairly recently diagnosed with MS, I'd say maybe a year and a half in, when I realized how messy my life was. My house was very messy. I had felt very crazy in the beginning, as some of you maybe can attest to, and feel free to write your comments below about what that may have been like for you at that time. Or maybe you're newly diagnosed and you're fresh in the muck and you're feeling it now, like the swamp that you just can't get out of. Where was I going with this? Now that brain is kind of like going. So newly diagnosed, yes, and joining this self empathy group was that it is when those messy thoughts come up, often what we as human beings try and do is we try and push them away, right? Push them away as far as we can because there's pain there. But that actually doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just makes things messier. It just makes things bigger. And one of the things I learned from Andrew Barber Starkey, and I'm sure that this maybe came from somebody else, but he's my source, is that the closer that we move towards fear, the smaller it gets. It's the only thing that gets smaller as we move towards it. And so when we can embrace our feelings, like when we can really, get in there and get cozy with them, it actually soothes the brain, and it makes things less messy. One of the things that happened to me when I was diagnosed, I realized that and I'll talk about this more in another episode, was that I really had a hard time with accepting the fact that I was living with MS. I went into major denial about it, and that caused me a lot of suffering and pain, fear. I don't know if you can relate with that. So I'm sure some of you can. And so I went to a counselor, and she helped me to get in touch with moving towards acceptance through just allowing myself to feel my feelings, feeling those feelings of grief, sadness, and then taking this empathy work late after that was a very supportive tool for me. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a quick way to get started in that if you're interested. And that is to just, when you are feeling whatever that feeling is, fear, anger, frustration, hopelessness, aggravation, betrayal, disappointment, defeat, gosh, there's so many different emotions, right, that can arise, is just to acknowledge it. So I'll give you an example. I'll just take you through that. So I'm just going to say, okay, so I'm feeling frustrated right now. I'm feeling frustrated because my throat's a little scratchy. That's impacting my shooting the videos. So just be there. I'll just be there with that for a moment. Taking a breath and acknowledging. Just acknowledging that frustration and just welcoming it. Welcome, frustration. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, that's it. Just welcoming it in, allowing it to be there. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that is the way to tame the messy house. And you can just test that out, share your experience below. It's a practice, right? It's not something you can just do once. In fact, many times I forget about doing it. Unless it's something that I'm doing ongoing, I don't remember. So sometimes I'll sit at my altar and I will do that and just go through the feelings that I'm feeling and acknowledge them. Welcome fear, welcome disappointment, welcome anger. That's it. It's that simple. So I invite you to do that. If you are new and you haven't had a chance to subscribe, go ahead and press that red button so that you can get more of these wonderful episodes. And feel free to comment, like, share below. Spread the love. We're all in this together. This is My Messy House. MS is raw and real. I'm Jen DeTracy. See you soon.